Hi, and welcome to the Changing Perspectives podcast, the show where we discuss a variety of topics, including grief, parenting, relationships, mental health, and pop culture. Join us and explore a number of changing perspectives. We're your hosts, Jenni and Josh Brennan. Well, hello, Jenni.
Good morning.
It's like,
afternoon. Good morning.
Whatever it is where you are in the world listening to the Changing Perspectives podcast. Welcome, everyone, to episode 93. We are back, Jenni. Welcome back in the studio.
I know. How long has it been? Like 6 weeks?
A long time. It's our last episode we released before now was March 16th about the teenage brain, entitled Teenagers Know Everything, when in fact they definitely do know everything. At least they think they do. And we found out why in that episode. But
That's true.
Do you want to take a second and tell everybody where we've been and what's been going on just a little bit?
I don't know. Where have we been? Well, I had surgery.
Yes, that was the biggest thing, I think.
I had surgery and then was recovering. And then we were in the middle of 2 sports seasons, really, for our kids. And I was just lazy.
I don't think lazy. That doesn't
I also
count.
was really foggy after my surgery. So
You were.
I couldn't. Nobody wanted to hear me talk. It was enough to do work, see my clients, and teach, and do some of the social media stuff.
Some of the social media stuff. You've been very, very, very busy on TikTok.
Because I can do that from my couch.
Yes. Can you tell everybody your TikTok account again?
I don't know. I'm the Changing Perspectives on TikTok.
But you have, your other name is like mental health content or something, right?
Because you should have a searchable name.
Yeah, that's cool.
So if you search mental health content, we have our associate producer in the studio with
And
us today.
social media manager for
And our
Changing
social media
Perspectives, Jacob.
manager.
Hey, Jacob. Sorry to have, we have to buy a third mic. We'll get you on the third mic. You'll hear Jacob in the background today, though. But listen, everyone, thank you so much for all your support. We last released an episode on March 16th. Since that time, we've had over 1,000, 1,100, 1,200 downloads while we weren't even releasing new episodes. So I just want to say thank you to everybody's support.
And we made the top 100 in Philippines on iTunes.
Yeah, Singapore. Was it Singapore or the Philippines?
No, I think it was the Philippines.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Which is very cool.
In relationships.
Yeah, in relationships.
So that's why we're doing a relationship episode
So
today.
I don't know if it was, I think it was during our little hiatus, we hit the 2-year mark. So we're 2 years into the Changing Perspectives podcast. We've had almost 17,000 downloads, 92 episodes, a couple of hiatuses in there, but now we're back, and we're just so thankful to be able to do this. We started out by just sort of doing this kind of for us, and this has really become one of the elements of what is Changing Perspectives online, which is you, Jenni, which is just you and your expertise. So that's exciting. What else are we doing during this episode today? You want to tell everybody what we're doing?
Oh, right. We are broadcasting live on TikTok because I can go live now. So we figured, why not just throw on the live while we're recording? I don't actually know. I just texted our associate producer. I don't actually know if anybody can hear us. You can turn your sound on and hold it up to your ear real fast, Jacob. Yes. So, I just heard it. So we are recording the podcast episode while broadcasting live on TikTok.
Yeah.
Usually we do it over StreamYard. Remember, we couldn't remember the name of it yesterday.
And on Facebook.
Yeah, on Facebook. And we've done it live on Instagram before, so we figured we would switch it up and try
Change it
TikTok.
up. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So our relationship episodes, remember when we started our podcast 2 years ago, we were only going to talk about like grief and death and dying.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And we do talk a lot about that.
We do.
But now we sort of have like 5 main buckets, right? We talk about grief, death and dying. Well, grief.
Yep.
Parenting, because we're parents.
Yeah.
Mental health, because I'm a therapist. And relationships, because we have a relationship, and also because I'm a therapist. And then like pop culture
Fun stuff. Yeah.
But
we try to tie that pop culture stuff into those other buckets.
That's true.
Like when we talk about grief in, the Marvel Cinematic Universe or Disney, that kind of thing. So yeah, we try to tie that in.
Thanks. You just
Did I derail you?
Yep.
Hey, it wouldn't be Changing Perspectives if I didn't derail you.
The relationship episodes are the ones that get the most downloads and the most engagements.
Yep.
And we haven't done a relationship episode in a while. I don't remember our last one, actually.
I can probably look it up. I don't remember either.
But so last night we were talking about like going live and doing a relationship episode. And we thought because we haven't done one in a while, maybe we'd revisit something we already did. So we already did this. Or we did something.
We did a version
We
of
did a
this. I
version
don't
of
remember
this.
answering these questions, though.
Well, I remember one of the questions because I got it wrong last time.
Oh,
if
yeah.
the answer is the
Okay,
same, I
okay,
have the
okay.
right answer. But we did think about, or I suggested that we go back and do the Island Survivor game.
Yeah.
But we decided that might be too risky because last time we did that one, we had an actual fight
On air.
and we decided to leave it in
Tiff.
the recording. So if you want to
Yeah.
hear Jenni and Josh fight, I don't know what episode that is.
Island
It's the
Survivor
Island
game.
Survival Game.
I think it was in the 40s, episode
I
40
would have said
something.
50,
I could be
somewhere
wrong.
around
Yeah.
there. But we have a fight, and then we work through our fight. So it's a good
Yeah,
sort of
it's a good
model, I
episode.
suppose.
Right, right.
All right, so we
But
are.
you wanted to talk about the sound relationship house. Like that's like building a sound relationship house. Can you talk a little bit about what that is? That's from the Gottman Institute, right?
Right. So we decided to go to one of our favorite sort of resources.
Experts, SMEs, subject matter experts.
I'm still pretty foggy after my surgery. This is better, so my word recall is not great. But the Gottman Institute is a great place for research and sort of resources on relationships. So we decided to go to them for today's content. And so we're starting sort of at the bottom.
The foundation.
The foundation, right?
Yeah.
So it's this like sound house. I don't have it in front of me. Do you have it in front of you?
I have it in front of me.
So we're going to sort of, I think, do sort of a series, right? Where we will, we'll do today's episode. It's a love map exercise, sort of identifying and mapping out your partner's love map and really understanding them. And then there's the next sort of layer of that foundation is
Share fondness and admiration.
okay, and then
Turn towards instead of away.
which I always say lean into
Lean
versus
into, yeah.
leaning out of the relationship.
Next is the positive perspective. The walls of the house. So this is actually an image of a house, and we'll share this on the social
Yes.
medias. But the walls of the house are made up of trust and commitment, which is pretty cool. Next, on top of positive perspective, is managing conflict, which is something I wanted to talk about anyway. It's an idea that I had. Under that is accept your partner's influence, dialogue about problems, and practice self-soothing. Finally, towards the top of the house, you have make life dreams come true. And then finally, create shared meaning,
Great.
which I love that concept. You can apply that concept in a bunch of different relationship or team building.
And grief.
Right? But yeah, the sound relationship house. So I think that's a good series for us to focus on right now when it comes to relationships.
Okay, cool. So
But we're going to start with the foundation today, which is build your love maps. But before we do that, speaking of mental health, as some of you may or may not know, but Changing Perspectives is brought to you by BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp.com. BetterHelp is an online counseling resource who makes professional counseling accessible, affordable, and convenient. They offer 4 ways to get licensed counseling through video sessions, phone call, live chat, and messaging. As everyone knows all too well, the past year has been challenging to say the least, and the broad expertise of the BetterHelp Counselor Network could provide anyone struggling with life's challenges the help they need anytime, anywhere. Whatever struggles you're facing, whether it's depression, grief, and loss, anxiety, BetterHelp.com can provide you the counselor that's the right fit. In fact, when you head on over to BetterHelp.com/changing perspectives, you can fill out a survey so they can match you with a mental health professional that will meet your needs. Listen, you may not have access to the help you need where you are. BetterHelp allows you the opportunity to access resources from all over. So visit betterhelp.com/changing perspectives. After signing up, you'll be matched with a counselor in 24 hours or less. Again, visit betterhelp.com/changing perspectives. So yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Okay.
So you want to dive in here?
Yeah. So this is a love map exercise, and I don't have the sourcing right from in front of me because that's not what I do. That's Josh's job. And it will be in the actual podcast recording, which is the goal for this to go out tomorrow, maybe Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday, so 26th or 27th.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the link to this document will be in the show notes, as well as the visual of the house.
The house.
The house.
Yes.
Okay, so we are doing this love map exercise, which is 17 questions that Josh and I were supposed to answer about each other ahead of time.
I did it.
thing about this show is that I don't always do my homework because I often think better off the cuff. So a few of them I left blank. We'll see how that goes.
Hey, listen, that ends up being good radio, so don't worry about it.
Well, we'll see. Okay. So we didn't talk about the format here. We'll just go back and forth.
Back and forth, yeah.
Okay.
So you take the first,
Okay.
to say what the first question is.
And the point of this is not like to see who gets the most points,
Yes, it is.
although we will do that.
Yeah.
But to sort of inform each other, right?
Yeah.
And engage in a dialogue with each other around your relationship, and to find out some things that might be unknown, or something
Yeah.
to sort of lean into a bit more. So it sort of gives you the map of sort of how your partner sort of moves through life and love and stuff like that. I see that you are waving to me, but I am talking. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. So, see, you can't do that. Our producer has derailed me
Jacob,
again.
do you need something?
Yes. No, he told me over text.
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
Good.
Okay, so we are going to go through this 17 questions back and forth, gaining
And
some
start
information
building the
about each other.
foundation of
Mhm.
our
So we're going to
relationship
disclose,
house.
as we do a lot on a lot of our podcast recordings. And if you're just joining, we are live recording our latest podcast episode about love maps. And we are going to disclose a whole lot about ourselves. Not so that like you guys are super interested in our lives, because we're pretty boring, but as sort of a model of what you can do in your own relationships, and how you can use this as like a date night or a way to just kind of gain information about each other. So it can be kind of fun. Sometimes can bring things up. So if you want to see something get brought up, you can go and listen to our episode about the island survival game and see us have a real fight as a result of this, and work through it. And clearly we're still together. So it's
True
it's
story.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, so
Are you ready?
yeah,
Okay.
number one is name my two closest friends. So again, I'm answering this for you.
For me.
I
right.
got this one wrong last time we did this. So we did do this before, but it was different questions because there was
Yeah,
like
it's
a
been a
list
while.
of 200 questions.
Almost
we
2
could
years,
pull
I
from.
would say.
And I got it wrong last time. So I'm hoping that it's still correct. I wrote me,
Yeah.
and your coworker, Keith. Is that still correct?
Yes.
What's it?
Okay. So, yes and no and yeah. Well, you are my default best friend. We've been, for those that are new to the show, Jenny and I are high school sweethearts. Listen to episode 1. The audio's crappy, but you get a background of who we are. So we've been together since high school, since 15 years old, for so a long time. You are my best friend, but I did not answer this question with you. Because that's
What?
But that's obvious. It's
Okay, all right.
I looked
Okay.
at this as my two closest friends besides
So
you.
do I get that correct?
Sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct.
I think you took the easy way out for 50% of that question.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even know what the answer to mine is. Okay.
Really?
I didn't think about these. I didn't think about my answers.
Okay, so for your two closest friends, boy, I don't want to get in trouble here. I just could be wrong. I don't know.
Well, if you've never read my, if you haven't read my writing, right? I think my most recent viral article is about being a B-list friend, right? Which,
Super viral.
yeah, I think it's like over 1 million shares and views and stuff. But sort of about like, I've never been the A-list person, like the best friend, because I've always had like groups, right? Like I've always been part of groups. So I don't even know that I have
Okay.
a best
Well,
friend. I
I
have
went-
lots of friends that I think I'm really close to. And since writing the article, I do think that I have developed some A-list categories.
Oh, for sure.
That is a separate episode.
So I wrote Kristen
Obviously, that's my
sister.
sister. So for sure.
and Meg.
Yeah, Meg could be my bestie.
Yeah.
Meg, maybe you're my bestie right now.
So I think that you missed an opportunity. Like,
crap.
who would be my third, I guess.
I don't. Oh, this is really uncomfortable. Oh, Cole.
Yes.
Okay.
My goodness. I was expecting you to say Keith and Cole.
But I think last time I said me and Cole, and then I got in trouble. Maybe this is how I got in trouble.
Why do you assume that you're in trouble? You're not in
Well,
trouble.
we could unpack that. Why do I assume I got in
okay.
trouble? But we won't.
That's a couple episodes.
That's a different episode.
Okay. So next.
Okay.
For me, I'll read this next one. Question 2. What was I wearing when we first met? As we just explained, that was in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
Now you know how old we are. But so I have really no idea.
Okay,
I could have gone either way because we kind of met a little bit in elementary school.
Yeah, I don't remember you. You
Yeah,
always
not
you
really.
always say that. I don't remember you.
I met you and you were dressed in costume for the school play, but I didn't write that. 'Cause
when I was
don't-
Queen Phaedra.
Yes.
In Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not say that. I wrote, this is 1994, so I wrote something from Weathervane
That's
and,
pretty good.
and a scrunchie.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. I wrote, so you got that one correct.
Yes.
I wrote probably a dumb hat.
Are you serious?
I always think of you, a beautiful picture that your mom took of you during that time, and you're like
Yeah.
in a field of wheatgrass or something, and you're wearing
Backwards scally cap.
and I hate that hat.
It was 1990. It was the 1990s,
Yeah.
and I was a theater band geek. So
Was,
yeah,
still
and
is.
I wore the.
All right, so a dumb
correct-
hat.
Yeah.
Although, really, I don't remember first.
So I was just in a hat. That was it.
Just a hat.
Yeah.
I don't remember first meeting you because I didn't like you for a long time. So actually, I do think the first time I officially like met you and knew your name was in trombone lessons. Because real quick, my friends were in the band. I wanted to join the band. I played piano. Asked the band director if I could join the band and be like a mallet player. Because I played piano, and he was like, "Nope, we don't need those, but we do need trombone players." And I was like, okay. And I stunk at it. And so the first time I like met you and like had, I guess, an interaction with you is you were across the like circle from me in trombone lessons, and I couldn't do it. And the band director literally sat back, rolled his eyes, and was like, "Josh, show her how to do it." And I hated you. So I don't know. So you were holding a trombone first time I met you,
And wearing a dumb hat, I guess.
and wearing a dumb hat. Although not, because you would have been in school and you would have gotten in trouble for that.
I think it was after school, but anyway.
Okay.
Question 3. You're up.
Name one of my hobbies. You play the guitar and all of the musical instruments.
Yeah.
And you listen to podcasts.
That's true.
And you tell us all about them.
I do. Yeah, that has become a hobby. I thought for a little while there it was going to be my profession, but yeah, it's a hobby. Yeah.
Okay. What's my hobby?
So I wrote your hobbies not having one
That's kind of true.
because you work too much. But I did say question piano because that's something that I wish you would pick that back up as a hobby.
And do you know what sort of broke it down as a hobby?
What?
The quarantine. Because I was never alone anymore, and I only play the piano when you're not home.
by yourself.
And
yeah.
then I played it when the boys were home, but they were little, and now they're both better than me at the piano,
not
and
true.
so I don't. They really are, and so I don't play anymore. But I would like to. Maybe that's a goal for this year to play.
Because it shouldn't be that hard for me to pick your hobby. That means you work too much.
I do like to read, but too tired.
I did
to
write
read.
Xbox with the boys every now and then. You are a little bit of a closet gamer.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. But then you get like the game updated. We were playing Call of Duty together for a while. What, during quarantine, right? And then it updated. I don't like
You
the
didn't
new
like
version.
the new one. Yeah. We still have the old one though. All right, question 4. What stresses am I facing right now?
Are you answering? You're answering for me.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
answering for you. I wrote scheduling and like
Yeah.
multitasking, juggling everything. Like that's super stressful.
Oh wait, for me?
Yeah. I'm answering for you.
Yeah. Is
Remember?
that a stressor? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
What would your answer be
I
then?
don't know. I didn't answer for myself. What's stressing me out right now? Money. It's always money.
Going live on TikTok.
Yeah, being judged by people, paying bills, all that normal stuff. I mean, we're paying the bills. It's not these are irrational things.
Yeah,
So what stresses am I facing right now? All of the irrational fears in my head.
Yep. Okay.
Okay.
What'd you answer for me? You didn't, did you?
No, I did. I did on this one. I just can't read my writing. Work, your weight loss journey,
Yeah.
family stuff, and I would add scheduling stuff
Yeah.
because you dropped the ball on a big schedule thing the other
Yep.
day. So
Yeah, I
okay.
did.
But I didn't write that one
couple
down. I didn't think of it
schedule
until you just said it.
things. Yeah, that tracks.
Okay.
All the above.
So just to like break the fourth wall, right? Like if you're doing this love map exercise with a partner, there's a real opportunity to kind of dive deep, right? Like
Yeah.
there's an opportunity to open the door a crack or kick the door all the way open and like lean into what
Well-
are you really stressed about? Because maybe that's something you don't talk about in your relationship a lot.
100%. But what we're doing right now is doing a podcast. And so we're trying to get through this exercise in under an hour to have a podcast. But if you're doing this together, you take your time.
Right.
Like you and I can spend probably a good half hour on the stresses
Right.
question alone. But we're not going to do that because we're going to go through this exercise as part of the show.
That's a good point. You could even go what was I wearing when we first met? Like, oh, I don't remember. Let's dig out a picture.
Yeah, exactly.
Or for people who haven't been together since like the dawn of time, they probably could look on Facebook photos and see like
Or
what they
their
were wearing
closet.
that day or their
Yeah.
closet. Right. All right. Good point.
Yeah.
It's my turn.
Your turn.
Describe in detail what I did today or yesterday, which I thought for us was an interesting question because I've been with you all day today
Yeah.
and yesterday. Well, you did go fishing with your dad and the boys. So my initial thought was like, that's kind of a dumb question. But at certain points in our relationship journey and at certain points in the year, there have been days where we don't see each other, right? Like I think
for
about
sure.
when the boys were little and you were working nights, I was working days, the boys were little. We literally like our sitter would come and stay with the boys. You would leave for work as I was coming home and we would literally pass each other on the
Yeah.
highway.
Yeah.
So could be a really good question. But did I write anything? I didn't write anything because I was with you. You got up and you went fishing and then you came home and we hung out.
Yeah.
That's it.
I answered this for you for yesterday.
Okay.
I said you got up because we didn't spend the morning together because like you just said, you did work.
I did.
Then you probably did more work.
I did.
Then you made TikToks.
About not wanting to do work, but
Yeah.
needing to do work.
And then you laughed a lot with Jacob and watched some Friends episodes.
I did. We've gone back into Friends. Friends is our favorite TV show ever because we can always sort of dip back in that. And then we had this lively family discussion when our oldest got home last
Yeah.
night about religion.
That was great.
Because that's how we roll.
That is how we roll. Okay.
Religion is not how we roll, but discussions about
Discussing-
important topics
discussing
are.
that, yeah. What is my fondest? This is question, I believe, 6. What is my fondest unrealized dream? And for you, I wrote just more world travel.
Oh. I would have said publish that book.
That's going to happen, though.
Well, it hasn't happened yet.
Well, I think world travel is going to happen, too. But I don't know. I looked at this as something that's more, not a little less attainable, I guess. You have to work ahead. I guess it's the same for the book. Yeah, okay. But
that's like your greatest. So I went to like my greatest professional dream, right? You went to sort of personal dream. Yeah, I guess safari, going back on a safari again, but with the boys this time.
for sure.
But any kind of world travel. So yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You get a check.
Yes. I think I'm
wrote-
winning.
Opening Dizzy Bird Studios for real.
For real.
With like a little coffee house with jazz music and live music and some music lessons.
Yeah. My life has taken a different turn since I first thought of that, but it would, if I was dropped in front of me $2 million right now, that would be part of what I would do.
Cool.
With that. Yeah.
You wouldn't like manage it all the time.
No, just open it.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
We could hang out there sometimes.
Yeah. Hey, this
Oh,
podcast
and at night,
is
at
produced
night
by
you could
Dizzy
make
Bird
craft
Studios.
cocktails there.
Yes.
Yeah.
For
For me.
sure. For sure.
Yes.
For just side note, that is my favorite thing to watch on TikTok is craft bartenders make craft drinks. It's
Yep.
fun.
He texts them to me all the time.
Yeah. Okay. Question 7.
I think
That's
I'm doing
you.
the
You're
odd
up.
ones, right?
Yep.
What is one of my greatest fears or disaster scenarios? Well, so I wrote anything happening to Lola because Lola is Josh's favorite dog and living creature. And then I said, or any of us. But Lola first.
That is not true.
Who's the cover of your phone? Who's your wallpaper?
Lola.
Right.
Yeah. And my phone too? Yeah.
Yeah, I think all of your things.
No, I got Star Wars on the work phone. So
Oh, okay.
That's
All right,
good.
okay.
But Jacob put that. I don't want to leave it or change it.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody's equal. Everybody who lives in this house is equal.
Sure, after
Yes.
Lola.
No, that's not
Lola, then the rest of us are all equal. Lola comes first.
I don't really do
You
TikTok.
were making out with her yesterday.
We were snuggling.
Okay. You snuggled her more than you
right,
snuggled
Jacob?
me.
No, so that's not true. Listen,
That's 100%.
I will say I don't really do like TikTok videos. I'm on TikTok and enjoy watching videos, but I don't do videos. But this couple I do have are of Lola.
I don't think there's any of me, your wife,
Yeah, there's
or your human children,
I
or your
can do
two
that.
other dogs.
We can
or
do
two cats.
TikToks.
Okay. All right.
Okay. Question 7. No, that's. Oh, no,
wait,
I have to answer
wait.
for you.
The dogs and cats do now have their own TikTok as of last night.
What is it?
I don't know. Pitties with kitties.
Pitties with kitties.
Pitties.
Check it out.
Kitties.
Yeah. My favorite video so far, and that is the parkour video. That's great.
That's our life.
Okay, so for you, I wrote. So this was one of my greatest fears of disaster scenarios. Public humiliation or vulnerability, like public vulnerability, humiliation.
Yes. So I was out the other day with vaccinated friends. And I found out that another one of my friends does not like to get up from the table and go to the bathroom in the middle of a restaurant.
Really?
Not going to the bathroom in the middle of a restaurant, but like walking through a restaurant to get to the other side of a restaurant. I won't out this friend on the podcast or on TikTok, but if you write it down, I'll tell you yay or nay.
Okay.
But I was very surprised. I was like, you, and the other friends were like, what? Nobody's looking at you.
I think I know. I'll have to.
They were like, well, what do you do instead? And we were like, we hold it until we get home.
I think I know. Okay, so I'm next. What is my favorite way to spend an evening? This is question number 8. I wrote laughing, enjoying family time with the
cute.
dogs and the boys and the kitties. But yeah.
I wrote sleeping, that you enjoy sleeping because that's how you
not
spend
true. I don't
most
enjoy
nights.
it. I mean, I like sleep,
Don't shout.
but I don't. That's not.
Yeah,
You
that
don't
makes
get
sense.
a point for that.
Okay. Wait, no. So that was me. I enjoy spending a night
Yeah.
laughing. Yeah, sorry, I was giving you I get confused with this. I don't know
Yeah.
why. It's really not that
I
hard.
don't know. It's not that hard. So do I get a point for that? Enjoying family time with the dogs and the boys, the cats, and laughing?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Okay.
You get a point.
You do not get a point. I like sleeping, but that's not what I like. That's not my favorite way to spend an evening.
I don't. Okay.
All
All
right,
right.
you're being
I won't
fresh
get
now.
I won't get a point for that. I will write X.
All right, question 9, Jenny, you're up.
What is one of my favorite ways to be soothed? Oh, right. I have to answer this.
You have to answer
Sorry.
for me.
Jacob is doing this.
Our associate producer needs something, I feel
Yes.
like.
Okay.
Okay.
Hold on a second. So, associate producer, you can answer people's questions for us.
No, it's like not loading.
Oh, it's not loading. Okay. I didn't know what was happening.
Are we having TikTok live issues?
Maybe, I don't know, but I can only do one thing at once. Although I do welcome the distraction because this is one of the ones I didn't answer. So I realized that this one, and for those of you that have just joined, we are doing a live recording of our
Wanna
latest
hold this up
podcast
so people
episode.
can see
No,
what it
because
is?
then they'll see my. Oh,
No,
yours.
mine's empty.
We are doing this. I'm bad at this. Love map exercise. 17 questions about each other. And you will hear this on
Building
the
our sound relationship
Sound
house. This is the
relationship house.
foundation.
So we went live on TikTok as we're doing our recording for this week. Okay, so I did not answer this one. So what is one of my favorite ways to be soothed? Meaning you.
Yeah, me.
I felt really uncomfortable. This one feels vulnerable. What's that face?
I don't know.
People can't see that face.
People can't see me.
Because I guess I don't often think about you as someone who needs to be soothed.
Okay.
And I don't know, soothe has, I have to like unpack that. So I left it blank because I genuinely don't know. And I would like for you to tell me.
Okay, you don't get a point
I know.
for that. I don't know.
Well, then I get a point. If the correct answer is I don't know.
What does that even mean? Favorite ways to be soothed.
I think of like a baby crying. I think of like being nurtured. And I don't
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
what did you
yeah.
write? Did you have an answer for
I
me?
had an answer for you. Yeah, I think what comes to mind for me is like environment, right? So like soft lighting, jazz, usually some candles, just like chill, like coffee house or like craft. What are the bars we'd like to go to? Like a speakeasy type, quiet.
I don't know that soothes me. I guess I was thinking, yes, I enjoy all of that.
That environment's very soothing to me.
Soothing. I guess we're
Yeah.
getting caught up on the semantics here.
Yeah, we are.
I was thinking like when you're upset. I was thinking like what brings you comfort when you're upset.
Jazz, music,
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what did
Yeah.
I write that?
and aromatherapy type stuff, like good smelling candles and yeah.
That one behind you might be broken.
It shut off.
okay.
I started it. Or did Jacob shut it off? I
No,
don't
he
know.
didn't.
So what did you? All right. So I wrote this for you. So that would be my answer.
But
Yeah.
when I'm upset, I don't want to like go out and listen to jazz music.
No, I know. That's not what I answered for you. though.
Oh, sorry.
That's what I answered for me.
Gotcha.
Okay. For you, what soothes you? A hand and foot rub,
That's true.
being read to, or having
That's
a
true.
hot bath drawn with candles and nice lavender soap or something like that.
That's true.
Did I get a point for
You
that?
get a point.
All right.
You get a point.
Excellent.
Well done.
I'm
Okay.
definitely winning, just so everyone knows.
I know
If
I
you're
have two
keeping
wrong.
score at home.
Do you have any wrong?
Huh?
Do you have any wrong?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You're up.
No, I'm not. I do the
Yes.
odd ones.
Oh, you do?
Uh-huh.
Oh. What is
You lose a
question
point
eight?
for that, 'cause you
I
lost
do
track.
lose a point. What is my favorite getaway place? And I wrote for you. I'm not going to say the name, but it's our favorite boutique hotel.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Hands down.
Yeah, you get.
Right.
Yeah, although I think there were probably like
I get
10
3
correct
points
answers.
for that. Yeah.
I wrote for you Disney.
Favorite getaway place?
Yeah.
Yeah, that counts.
I was gonna go with Jamaica.
Yeah, I
Any
do love
tropical,
Jamaica.
all inclusive.
Yeah. Pre-pandemic Disney though.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not really loving the.
Most importantly,
current
do I get a
version.
point?
Yes, you get a point.
Okay.
100%. All right, we're over halfway through. Or here we go. You're up next, Jenny.
What are the microphones on the way? What are some of the important events coming up in my life, and how do I feel about them? Well, I wrote that you are doing this cancer ride thing.
Yeah.
I don't know the official name of it, but you're raising money for the American Cancer Society,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And you also are planning a big old work conference thingy, right?
I am. Yeah.
What else did I miss?
No, that's good. Those are 2 big things happening.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm doing the Determination Cycling Classic for the American Cancer Society, and maybe
I'll just flip to you so people can see you as you talk.
hello TikTok Live, folks. Yeah, I'm doing the Determination Cycling Classic for the American Cancer Society, and maybe in a different episode, I can tell people why. But it's important to me right now. But I'm doing that, and that it's a virtual ride, goes to May 16th, and then I'm doing a big thing for work. Yeah, so I think your answer is correct, Jenny.
Yay, I
Yeah.
get points. Okay, what's going on in my life?
All right, so I wrote for this question, which was, what are some important events coming up in my life? How do I feel about them? I wrote, traveling for the first time post-pandemic. That's a big event coming up. We're getting on a plane for the first time.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, at the end of next month. No, 2 months about. And then our oldest is getting ready to get his permit. And I wrote excited.
Now I feel old and okay. All
You
right.
didn't tell me how I feel about mine though.
Sorry. You feel excited and good.
You are not reading anything that you wrote because you didn't write
I
anything.
didn't write anything down about that one.
Okay, thank you.
Because I know how you feel.
Excited and good.
Well, the cancer ride is sentiment, not sentiment. It means something emotionally for
Powerful.
you,
Yeah,
powerful.
yeah.
And then the work stuff, like you love your work field, and so I think you're excited and also
A little stressed. Yeah. I wrote excited and nervous.
Is that the conference that I'm traveling potentially with you to?
No, that's
Or
a different
that's a
one.
different one. Okay.
That'll be later. Associate producer Jacob is waving us down.
I think it's supposed to be secret. Yes.
SC crawfish comments. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay.
Do you have a question on the TikToks? Do we need to
I've
answer?
seen one red truck thus far and thought of you. Oh, so she's talking about one of my TikTok videos about TikTok. The TikTok, I love you. TikTok algorithm is weird and lately has been pushing older videos of mine to people's
that's
For You
interesting.
page. Yeah, which is great. So she's talking about sort of a perspective one. Actually, we should do an episode about that.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking
Like
about.
red cars, blue cars.
Yeah,
I wrote about it in one of my newsletters
That's
too.
good.
Okay.
So question 12, that's me, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm even. What are some of my favorite ways to work
Wait,
out?
how do I feel about the things that are coming up in my life?
I told you, but you weren't listening.
I wasn't listening.
Excited and nervous about both things, about traveling, because we
I'm not nervous about traveling.
so needed a vacation. Are you not nervous? Okay.
I'm not nervous.
Okay.
No, I
mean,
feel
we
like
got the
we're
vaccine.
vaccinated.
Yeah.
The boys are great about wearing masks.
Okay.
I got our seats on the plane all together.
Well, you're nervous about Jackson driving.
Yep. Yep.
Super nervous.
Okay.
Okay. Jacob, you need us. You
Okay.
got another
Okay.
question?
Yes.
Okay.
But I think we might need to hold questions because they don't make sense for the podcast folks.
That's okay though.
Yeah. Okay.
All
and
right.
also because I am focused on 4 different things right now.
Okay.
Okay.
You want me to go with my question?
Yeah.
Okay. So what are some of my favorite ways to work out? We are at question 12, and I wrote for you spin bike, and I wrote question Zumba because you used to do Zumba a lot
I did.
years ago.
I love Zumba. And then my old knee injury did not like Zumba
There's
because
that
of
little
the
football
lateral.
injury there.
We'll call it that. That's a story for a different episode.
That's a story for a different podcast.
Yes, true story. Yeah, but that knee did not like lateral movements. But I would love to get back to Zumba, but not with a mask.
Yeah, I hear that.
but
spin bike.
Yeah, I might try to get back on it this
Yeah.
week. If you give me back my seat. You took my seat cover.
We're sharing a seat cover, but I have to get my own.
Get your own.
Yeah.
That's gross.
I will. It's not gross.
I don't know. It
It's a
seems
seat.
gross. I don't know.
Okay. So you have to answer that for me.
Right. Bike riding lately? Because
Yeah,
you're riding
for
your bike.
sure, yeah.
Except you ride your
Bicycling.
bike like with people, like on a road where people might hit you.
Yeah, I did.
That's scary.
I rode in the rain this morning
That's why.
because I had to get out there. I did 9 miles.
Oh, we were supposed to go to our nephew's lacrosse game, and I texted them, and I was like, I love him, but I don't love the rain.
Yeah,
so
it's
can
gonna
you
be
send
rough
us another
today.
game to go to?
Lacrosse is one of those sports that don't cancel, like football.
Like football.
Yeah.
And running.
I love running.
Yeah. I wrote bike riding and running.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything?
Well, it's bicycling.
Oh.
I like cycling. That's what you're supposed to call it. I guess I don't
Can
know.
I still get the point?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
I say
All
bike
right,
riding
okay,
though.
okay. I
Yeah,
just
you
want
get
to
the
pause
points.
and acknowledge that one of our viewers on the live talked about how she's been going to her counselor at high school, and it's been helpful because her parents don't understand what's happening. And I want to applaud you for that,
For
because
sure.
I know we've talked about that. You and me, viewer, have talked about it on some of my TikTok videos, and I know that is a struggle for a lot of folks, right?
Yeah.
To actually go to a therapist, especially when you are a teenager, you're in high school or
Yes.
you're in middle school, and your parents just don't get it, right? They're from like a different generation, kind of a different planet. We talked about this. Was our last episode on teenage brain development?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yep.
Just about how like parent brains and teen brains are different.
Totally
so I'm so
different.
happy that that's been helpful. And if there's anyone else listening, watching in TikTok land, or listening on the podcast, therapy can be really helpful.
Yes.
So it can also be not bad. Bad. Yeah, there's bad therapists out there, and there's
Sure.
therapists just that aren't a good fit out there for folks. So
I've had an interesting background with therapy. I've had
we could do an
bad
episode
therapy.
on
We
that.
should do an episode on that. I'm currently in therapy now, and my therapist is a rock star.
Look,
so-
I have a notebook now.
Yeah.
That one of my friends got me as like a surgery recovery thing, and it's pretty.
Yeah, you're
And
smacking the microphone
Sorry,
with it.
just making all this noise for the podcast, folks. I'm going to make a podcast ideas one. Usually I write all my ideas on my phone, but my phone is being used for,
Yeah.
so I'm writing down this red car, blue car stuff, which will make
That's
sense
good.
to me, and therapy, because I think both of us have professional, well, I have professional and personal experiences, and you have an interesting personal experience too.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think there's a whole sort of component to explore about like social media and the use of social media as like mental health support and things like that.
Oh,
So,
for sure.
Okay.
And I since we're talking about relationships episodes, couples therapy can be really great as well.
True.
So
True.
kudos to that viewer.
Okay.
Who's next?
Me, I'm doing
Go.
odd numbers. So what would I consider my ideal job? So you.
Yeah.
I wrote your current one, but like a step up.
Okay.
Is that okay to say?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. Is that a secret? What?
What'd you say?
I don't know the actual answer.
Oh, our producer knows the actual
What's the
answer.
actual
What's
answer?
the actual
It's
answer?
like a ferry or something at Disney, right?
A ferry at Disney.
No, right? It's like a boat.
A ferry
Oh,
driver.
ferry.
A captain.
Ferry.
So
That is, yes. I thought you were like making fun
I was
of
going to
him.
be a fairy in Disney. Hey, I could be Tink, right?
You
I could do
could.
it.
Yes, we talk about
Ferry
that.
boat
Like when
driver,
we retire,
captain.
going moving somewhere warm but still working, and you always talk about how you want to drive a ferry boat.
Yeah. Hey, listen.
I could do therapy in Florida.
I think there's a lot of different answers to that question for me.
Okay,
My
wait.
ideal job.
Do I get it right?
Yeah, you get
Okay.
it right. Yeah, I love the field of donation and transplantation. If you're new to the show, that's what I do during the day. I'm a medical professional in the transplantation and donation field. I wrote what you're doing now as well.
It's true.
Yeah.
That is true. Yes,
But,
we're both.
Your ideal job is what you're doing now, but it morphed into something really amazing and cool. You're reaching so many people outside of just your regular patient load with your writing and this podcast and TikTok. You're reaching so many people, and you've married creativity and your talent there with your skill set. And I'm going to take this opportunity to plug changingperspectivesonline.com. Go there and sign up for Jenni's newsletter so you can actually get more of Jenni's great content. In addition to her writing, you'll see podcast episodes there and different products that she has highlighted. So check out that, and you can get your the newsletter, which is monthly and weekly.
Right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Every Wednesday, there is a Wednesday wisdom that gets sent, like a quick 1 minute little, I don't know, email, but whatever I'm thinking about, something sort of maybe insightful-ish.
Yeah.
And then once a month, there's a newsletter with resources and tips. And what month are we in right now? April. So for the rest of April, anyone who signs up for the newsletter gets a free, I was trying to think about what the free link was. You get a free phone wallpaper, like a screen wallpaper. And I think this month says perfection is a myth. And I let all the followers kind of vote on what their freebie is going to be for each
Yeah.
month. So that's the freebie for April, as well as a digital download of a 3-minute self-esteem journal. So that's the freebie for this month. But I feel very fortunate. This is one of the things that has grown from the quarantine, because the sort of forced us all inside, right? And sort of shut like everything down. So I went from being super, super busy with all of the sports and the parenting stuff to suddenly like just being here in our house with these 4 walls. And it
Yeah.
allowed me to start writing and start, really getting paid for writing, and figured out that like my followers on Facebook and what I can kind of provide on Facebook is different than what I provide on Instagram, than now what I provide on TikTok. So there's overlap in Twitter, but Twitter's like a cesspool. I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
Twitter, sometimes I post some stuff over there, but it's really scary territory. What, Jacob? I feel like I also am teaching online. So right now I feel like you're one of those students in my class who just keeps raising your hand.
2 things.
2 things, he
Nice
says.
and loud.
Go back over the topics that you guys.
Yes, I will revisit the topics.
And what are you guys on?
We don't do drugs. So
You
what
mean
do we
the
got?
podcast platform?
Yes, like Spotify.
Oh, these are great questions.
Anywhere you can find podcasts, by the way. Stitcher,
Spotify,
iHeartRadio,
yeah.
Spotify, iTunes, of course, Amazon. You can tell your Alexa to play the Changing Perspectives podcast.
I'm so sorry if you have one of those
did that on
and
purpose.
Josh has activated it. You can say to your lady, whatever you call her, play the latest episode of, and we are the Changing Perspectives podcast.
Yep.
So you might need to actually put in the for ours to show up. You can say, blah, blah, your name, play the latest episode of the Changing Perspectives podcast, and she will. But yeah, we're available everywhere. And also theoretically
as well.
from my website. So if you go to changingperspectivesonline.com and click podcast, I have it broken down by topic, so you can look at the different topics that we talk about. Except I think I'm behind on that. I'm behind on the website stuff. So that's probably up to date until like January. I will push the rest of the stuff there. And so you can find me on Facebook, Changing Perspectives Podcast. Instagram is Changing Perspectives Blog.
Yep.
TikTok is The Changing Perspectives, and Twitter, I don't even know. But anyways, yes, to get back to your point here. And for those of you who are joining us on TikTok, or those of you who are listening on the podcast and are like, what are we talking about again? Because we've gone off topic so much. This is a relationship episode. We are exploring the love map exercise from the Gottman Institute, which is one of their sort of foundational exercises in sort of building a strong relationship house.
Yes. And that's what we're doing.
Right. So it's 17 questions, and we are seeing who is the most right. No, we are seeing, we're just exploring.
We're building our foundation.
Yes.
That's what we're doing.
This is a model of how you could do this with your partner.
And I'm winning. Okay. Question 14. That's me, I think. What medical problems do I worry about? This is an easy answer, I feel like, because you've had your fair share of medical issues over the last year. Do you mind if I share a couple? Or no?
Sure.
Okay. So endometriosis, which hopefully you're on the other side of in a big way.
I mean and adenomyosis, and the uterus is gone. So that's for sure.
And then, I think cancer is always there as a worry for you with your family history and whatnot. So, I know we got a little serious there for a second, but
wow, I just didn't know we were going there.
But yeah, I mean, that's something. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I thought your answer was going to be all of them. What medical problems do I worry about? I thought your answer was going to be all of them.
Yeah.
But you're right. You get a point. That is correct.
Very good.
So if you're listening, right? So some of these questions are like cute, like what was I wearing the first time we met, right? And then also like, boom, we could go super deep, right?
Yeah.
Like, what's your greatest fear in life? And also like, what's the thing you worry about most medically? I drew a little heart. Which I think meant that I was thinking you probably worry about like cardiac stuff.
I do. Yeah.
Partially because of family history and partially because of the work that you do.
Yeah, for sure.
And because we're getting old.
Yeah, we are getting old.
Okay.
But that's why I am so focused right now on health and wellness and getting healthy.
You're also, another topic, right? Let me write it down.
Write it down.
75 hard. This has been rattling in my brain. I want to write about it. I want to post about it, but I just haven't gotten there yet. You are technically doing this 75
Not really.
Hard. Okay.
I mean, I started out with it, but realized quickly it wasn't really a fit for my life. But I've basically created my own health journey right now. With the skeleton is 75 hard, but I'm not truly.
I feel like foundation, right? The part I was going to say is that you're off alcohol for 75 days.
Yeah, I am.
Which is the irony between the fact that you watch all these craft cocktail videos on TikTok and send them to me, but you're not drinking.
I'm not drinking
at all. Yeah, I'll save the 75 hard stuff. My thoughts on that for another day.
Okay.
I had the hiccups. I'm sorry.
You're up. Oh, did you answer? Oh, you did.
I did.
Hearts.
I did.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, and I got that right. So number 15. What was my most embarrassing moment? Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, I'm just now realizing that you have to answer this for me.
I do, yeah.
And I think I had a dream about
Really?
the correct answer. Yeah, I've been having weird dreams lately. Okay, so that I'm going to guess it was the time you got thrown out of a youth football game.
100%.
Okay.
We've talked about that before on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember where we talked about that, but
maybe sports parenting.
Maybe.
I
Can I give the quick?
Or the youth football episode. I think it was sports parenting.
So our oldest was.
Do you remember that, Jake?
I was in the stands, dude. I was watching.
Yeah.
He was sitting next to me, right?
I think I went out to the car to see what happened.
Oh, he went out to see you.
You were a mini-mite then? You were a 7-year-old.
What are you doing? Why are you bouncing?
I don't know.
Okay. So our oldest was a peewee. So was he 6th grade?
Yes, second year.
Second year, like middle of the youth football thing. And he was one of the biggest because he sort of went, through his growth spurt first. So he was big, he was fast, he was a really aggressive player. We were playing a town that was like 4 divisions lower than us, right?
Yeah.
And his game...
One division, but yeah.
His game was the third game of the day. And because of the fact that you were coaching and we had a younger one, it meant that we had to sit there for all 3 games. So this was the third game of the day. And the ambulance had come, I think, already 3 times before that game. And the other town pretty much hated us because we never should have been playing them. They were outmatched.
Yeah.
And so kids were getting hurt, not on purpose. And we can talk about football another time. We have
did.
talked about
Check it
football. Yeah, we've got an episode on football. So our child tackled someone. The ref said it was a personal foul. We disagree. He just targeting. They said that he intentionally hurt this kid, which if you know him, that's not true. If it's the one that's sitting behind the camera right now over there, I'd be throwing the flags from the stands. Not to make light of that, but truly, like he was not targeting, and it broke his heart that the ref said that. And then on the next play, so he was like trying not to cry on the field because you could tell he felt so bad. And then just really bad timing. Josh was on the sidelines holding the chains. He was holding the chains on the sidelines and was trying to give him a little like boost of confidence to be like, it's okay, kid. And what he said was, it was a nice hit, kid. But he said it at the exact moment that the stadium was quiet. Oh, and
no one else was talking.
The kid was hurt. No one else was talking, and then everybody lost their minds because it's silent, like the kid's off the field getting medical attention. Our son's like still in the game, trying not to cry, and it goes silent, and Josh yells, "It was a good hit, kid." And then the coaches from the other team ran onto the field and were screaming, "Who said that? Who said that?" Totally embarrassing. And everyone in the stands looked up at me and said, "What happened?" Because we didn't hear it. The other stands did because it was sort of projected across the field. And I said, "I don't know. It looks like Josh just said something to Jackson and they heard it. And it's not good." So anyways, Josh then got ejected from the game. Then on the next play, the other team sent 3 of their kids to hurt our kid. And then our kid stood up and went like this to the ref. If you can't see on the podcast,
Can't
like he
see
shrugged
it.
his shoulders like any teenager does, like, what was that? And then he got ejected from the game.
It was a mess.
It was a total mess, but our league went to bat for our son and was like, the call was inappropriate. It wasn't targeting. Here's the
ruled in his
film.
favor.
And then look at what that team did to him. But then I heard about it because I have friends in that other town. And so he became the kid, like really big. It was awful. Anyway, so that's your most embarrassing moment still, correct?
For sure.
Okay.
Thank you for
I
rehashing
just made you
that.
relive that. Well, because I feel like
It's
I'm going to
okay.
relive mine in just a second.
Yeah, but yours is when you were a child. So
Okay.
okay, so your most embarrassing moment, you were in first grade.
Yeah.
You slipped on the ice and had an accident.
I did.
Yeah.
I peed my
You
pants.
peed your pants.
Oh, that's why I was thinking of this, because it's in my TikTok. It's in one of my recent TikTok, or it's a reel. It might be on Instagram. I think it's on both. Yes, I still think about this.
Yeah.
The day I peed my pants in
You
first
talk
grade.
about it kind of every
And-
time there's ice on the ground.
Yeah, because I don't want to
That was
fall
one
and
of those.
pee my pants
what
again.
What are those called? Core
Memories,
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yes, that was my most
Yes.
embarrassing. Although tied with the time I vomited on the bus in kindergarten. Nope. I might have to give you half credit for that.
No way.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I vomited on the bus in kindergarten and then had to be hosed down in front of the whole bus. Like they pulled into like the car
It's
dealership
still,
in town and
like,
hosed me down.
This
I'm
was
not
the
even
80s,
joking. This
man.
happened.
This is not. You're not supposed to do that now.
And then 8 years later, I'm sitting in freshman. It was freshman English, the
Are you
first
sure it
day
was
of school.
freshman, or you in junior high?
No,
Was it freshman?
because those kids that were in kindergarten, then after kindergarten, we all were centralized in town for kindergarten. Then you went to one of 3 elementary schools, and then you either went to the middle school or you went to the Catholic school. Or I guess you could have gone to the Catholic school for elementary school. And then in high school at 9th grade, folks kind of come together again for the first time. So sometimes you see
Okay,
people,
yep.
you're with people again for the first time since kindergarten.
Yeah.
And so there's this like guy that freshman me thought was like really handsome and cute. And he's sitting next to me and he leans over and he's like, "Hey, are you Jen Jackson?" My middle name. And I was like, "Oh my God. He's talking to me and he knows me." And I was like, "Yeah, I am." He's like, "You're the girl that threw up on the bus in kindergarten." So maybe that is
maiden name, not your middle
maiden name. What did I say? Middle name?
Middle name.
See, it's still foggy. All right.
All right, so I get half credit for that.
No, I guess you get full credit.
It still has to do with school.
Yeah. Still
But
around that age group.
The
Public humiliation.
the vomiting one ended up spilling into like an adolescent,
Yeah.
like developmental phase.
Yes.
So I guess that takes the cake.
And so I am still afraid of vomiting in public and peeing my pants in public and falling in public.
Okay, we have 2 left, everybody, and we're at almost an hour here in the episode. So let's try to finish this up, Jenny. Okay, ready?
Yes.
Name one of my favorite movies / novels. So I'm answering this for you.
Yep.
And I got to be honest, I kind of drew a blank a little bit on this question.
Because I don't have one.
You don't have one?
No, and I feel like...
But I have answers.
I feel like I don't have favorite things. I don't have a favorite thing in any category, right? Like, I think, was it you, our youngest over there? Someone was asking me recently, like, who's your favorite band ever? And I was like, I don't think I have a favorite. Do I have a favorite TV show? But it's like one of, Friends might be.
You have favorites.
I have favorite.
Like
it's like
plural.
Friends, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Not the TV show Friends, like my friends.
Yeah,
like, so I don't have a singular favorite thing. Like, you're lucky that we're married, because I don't know how I like have a favorite husband, right? Like a favorite person that I married.
Well, I guess I am lucky then.
I don't mean that in a cocky way.
So I answered for favorite novel. I answered both a novel and a movie. Outlander for novel.
Sure.
You liked it?
Novels.
Novels.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And then for favorite movies, this is why I get a point here because I struggled because you don't have favorites.
I think, it's like a trick question.
So I wrote Up, the movie Up.
Oh, well, now I don't want to give you a point. I don't think that's a favorite.
You love that movie.
I don't love
so
that
sweet
movie.
At the beginning. How do you not love Up?
Well, because it makes you cry. I love it, but like I'm not like I'm bored today. Let's watch a heartbreaking movie.
All right, fair enough. I get half point then. That's fine. What did you answer for? Do you have an answer for her, Jenny? Jacob?
No, it's not you.
Oh, you.
So
it's pretty obvious, but
oh god, see, I had anxiety. I had anxiety about this because I feel like you've got a few like genres that are your favorite. So I went with the Star Wars.
Favorite movie?
Yeah.
No.
Oh.
It's not my favorite movie all time now.
Well, first I wrote Back to the Future.
That's correct.
Oh, but look, you could see I started to write B. Do you see? And then I wrote SW.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Star Wars is up there for sure. But
you don't want to go to like Back to the Future's land, but maybe you would if there was one.
I want to go to Hill Valley. Are you kidding me?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I should have. So here, go with your gut. Always go with your gut.
Back to the Future.
Your gut knows.
Jacob
okay.
knows.
I lost.
Favorite movie of all time.
Alrighty. Okay.
Okay. Final question, and I think you read this one, right?
Mm-hmm. What is your favorite restaurant?
Okay. What is it, Jenny?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Well, I mean, there's the ones that we go to for date night,
Good,
right?
because I don't think I have one.
Okay, good. I wrote but I guess it's that type of restaurant, right? Like,
so
it's
what? Like, describe it.
kind of snotty.
Snotty.
Kind of, like not
upscale,
but not really upscale. Like, I don't know, places that serve craft cocktails,
Sure,
right? That have
sure.
like fancy cocktails on their menu, and why can't I think of the name of like beer? Like not craft beer. Brewery beer. Yeah, craft beer. Microbrews. Yeah. So like the two places that we go the most often when we used to go on dates, but then quarantine happened. And then we weren't really eating in restaurants. But now we're vaccinated,
starting to
so
get
we
back
could.
into it a little bit.
But also that one in Boston, the Mexican one.
Oh yeah.
But we're not in Boston, so we don't go there a lot. So do I get a point?
You get a point.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I basically wrote the same thing. So I wrote any cozy tapas place with great drinks for you.
Yeah. Oh, that's my favorite restaurant. The one that doesn't exist anymore.
Well,
the
I wrote
tapas
that.
place. Mm-hmm.
I wrote it.
You get extra
it
credit.
It's
Yeah, Loco.
A place called Loco.
They closed it.
I get extra credit.
Okay, you win. All right.
Nice.
So, for anyone that was keeping score,
Our love
I
map.
lost. Josh is more aware of my love map than I am of his.
I might have an edge because I actually did it.
Right. I didn't really do my homework all the way. And I think you did this ahead of time. No, because we did this last night.
I did it this
found
morning
last night.
before
Okay.
we. Yeah.
So for anyone who's late or just needs the reminder, the goal of this exercise isn't to see who wins. That's just how we play.
Yeah.
But it's really to give you an opportunity to sort of build that foundation in your relationship, right? So getting back to the Gottman Institute and their sort of strong relationship house, you need a strong foundation, and you can't really build a strong foundation if you don't have information about each other, right? And insight about each other. And so some of these were really easy for us, right? Like to answer, like we know them, we talk about them. These are topics we talk about a lot. And some of them are things we don't really talk about. And so that's true, I think, of any relationship. If you do an exercise like this, there's going to be stuff that comes up that is like, we haven't really talked about that. And so you can dive into it. So it's about process, not product, right? Like our sort of early professional days are as preschool teachers also. And so our preschool teacher training is about process, not product, right? Like the macaroni necklace, it's not about what the macaroni necklace looks like. It's about like all the fine motor work that goes into making the macaroni necklace. Process, not product. That's what this is about. It's not about like, let's get through all 17 questions. But if you get through one and you stay there and you talk about that for an hour, that's still building that foundation.
And that's our goal today was to get through it as part of the show, like we mentioned before. But I really invite everyone, if you're going to do this activity with your partner, take the time. Maybe do it in a couple different sessions. Just do a handful of questions, do a deeper dive, go look in a photo album, go on your Facebook photos to answer some of these questions. And just talk a little bit more about them. Don't rush through it and under an hour. You can, if you make it quick, whatever floats your boat. We don't want to yuck anybody's yum.
No, don't say that. I hate that. I hate when he says that. Someone on the TikTok said something that I think is true. She said, "Is that true love though? That y'all can be competitive but in a respectful way?" And it's really interesting because we kind of were talking about that last night in our family discussion because about religion, and then it sort of grew into like soulmates, and I guess kind of true love.
Yep.
I guess. Maybe that's part of our love, right? Like our love language is that we can be competitive in a respectful way, but not always, right?
Always,
like if we go back to that island survivor game, there, it crossed a line. Not that either of us were disrespectful, but it like crossed a line from playful to hurtful.
Well, I don't know. Did it cross the line or did it reveal? Other things.
Maybe it revealed other things.
But it was born out of that competitive sort of back and forth.
Yeah.
But it revealed other things. But I think you just have to be mindful. Well,
I think you can do this in your in a context that works within your relationship, right? So our relationship is one that's really kind of playful and competitive, and sarcastic. Like that's sort of that's what works for us, right?
Right.
But that's not true of every other couple, right?
Sure.
So you can mold this and take it and work with it in a way that works for you as a couple. And I think that's true of most of the Gottman stuff, the Gottman Institute. They're great. The Gottman Institute, if you're interested in any of this relationship stuff, they're great. They send out, I think, relationship minutes, or maybe they're mindful minutes. I forget what they're called, but weekly emails that are sort of the same, like a short little blurb, like a link to an article, great resources there. And I think all of their sort of stuff, whether you're taking a training or reading one of their books or you're just reading their emails, are adaptable and moldable and individualizable to your particular relationship. So if you're new to our podcast, if you have found us recently, because it does look like we have some new people that have, looking at the stats, it sounds like folks have found us. This is us. So we are not really great at releasing episodes consistently. It is a goal for us, but life has been a challenge. And so we like it when we're able to release episodes once a week, but we can't promise that right now. But we always talk about one of 5 buckets, right? So grief, relationships, parenting, mental health, and pop culture. And usually the pop culture sort of folds into that in some way. And I do know we have a Marvel Cinematic Universe pop culture one that is sort of percolating about
Yeah.
the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yes. Yes.
So always open to topic ideas. So if there's a podcast episode or a TikTok live you'd like us to talk about, then go ahead and send us a message.
Yeah.
You can send email to.
Well, we're going to go through all that.
Oh, sorry. Right. Josh does that in the closing. It's been like 7 weeks, so
Yeah,
I forget our closing. But thank you for joining us, for
Yeah.
listening to us today. And
We invite everyone to try this exercise out.
yeah, it's kind of fun. And I will
And join us as we try to build our own sound relationship house.
Well, I was just going to sort of break the fourth wall again. But what did I say to you right before we turned on the mics and went live? I was like, I'm really annoyed by you lately.
Yeah, I annoy you. Yeah.
And so I feel like so I say that because there was tension between us. We were going to maybe do one about like our last argument, but that felt like that was too real.
We did one.
We did one before,
Yeah.
but if we were to do that episode now on our last argument, that felt too
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
So there was like tension and sort of conflict there. And I do feel like doing this exercise with you today sort of broke through some of that for me.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So,
Very cool.
so that's your
It was your
cheesiness.
idea. Good job, Jenny.
Can I get extra credit for that?
Yes, absolutely.
So
But
how
I
many did you get
But I
wrong?
still win. I don't know. I think I had half credit on one,
think
but I
you
got
still
extra
won.
credit on
You
Loco.
still won even with my extra
Yeah,
credit.
yeah. No, you know what? We both won. Our relationship won.
Such a
Okay.
dork.
I know. Are you ready? Do you have anything else?
I do not have
Okay.
anything else. We'll stay on the
We'll
TikTok
stay on
folks
the
for a minute
TikTok
to
for
answer
a minute,
questions from
okay.
TikTok. So feel free to stay, but Josh has to do our sort of outro now for
Yeah.
podcast people.
All right, everybody. So that is going to do it for today. Thank you so much for listening. For today's show notes links, just check out Gottman.com for the Gottman Institute. It's a great resource for relationships. So Gottman.com. Hey, submit your iTunes reviews on iTunes. We're going to feature those on the show over the air. We're going to read all the new ones. Tell your friends about the Changing Perspectives podcast so we can help grow the Changing Perspectives family. Please follow us on Facebook, everybody, at Changing Perspectives podcast, and on Instagram at Changing Perspectives blog. You can send us an email, as Jenny was just saying, to info@changingperspectivesonline.com. You can also visit changingperspectivesonline.com, and while you're there, don't forget to visit the shop to check out all that Changing Perspectives merchandise. Go ahead and subscribe to the show so you'll never miss an episode, and we will see you next time. Say bye, Jenny.
Bye, Jenny.
The Changing Perspectives podcast is produced, recorded, and edited by Dizzy Studios. Copyright 2021. Please visit Dizzy Studios on Facebook, facebook.com/Dizzy Studios.